Hello my fellow Keyblade builders and welcome back to another video. I am the Kingdom Key, and in today's video is a bit of a theory and discussion around Yozora and if he is Noctis. I'm not alone for this video. I actually have a very good friend and a massive Kingdom Hearts fan and theorist himself. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Chaos here. It's nice for you all to tune in. I hope you enjoy the video and have a good time.
Yep, same here, man. Good to have you here. So, you actually brought this up in one of my live streams about Yozora being Noctis, and, you know, the more that I thought about it, I put two and two together, because my friend, shout out to Armin on Twitter, who designed my Keyblade, he actually sent me a trailer for Final Fantasy 13 Versus, and also made the first connection for me about the whole car scene. So do you want to go on ahead and explain that for people and why you also believe Yozora could be Noctis?
Well, basically, in the ending of the Limit Cut final chapter, you either defeat or are defeated by Yozora, and a cutscene plays that is very similar, if not frame by frame, the exact same as the original trailer for Final Fantasy Versus 13, where Noctis sits in a car and is talked to by, we assume the driver is Ignis, but we're not sure, because it was very early back then.
Right, yeah, and that's another thing too, is that, like, as you mentioned, it is frame for frame, and at some point I will see if I can put them, like, one on top and one on bottom so that you can watch them at the exact same time, but they do play out exactly the same. Now, another thing that I will mention, which is kind of funny, is that if you look at Yozora's design, especially like on his clothing, on his shoulder, on one side, he actually has the crown emblem being the main emblem that is Sora's emblem. And also, Sora's name translates to sky, whereas Yozora's name translates to night sky. And when Sora meets Yozora for the first time, he says, "You know my name? Like, how do you know that name?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I've heard of you." And he's like, "But how do you know what I look like? This isn't what I look like, and that's not my name." So, who is he is the question, and...
Yeah,
Go on.
because Noctis also translates to night sky.
Oh, it does?
It's very similar character designs, like even closer than what Riku did in KH3.
Yeah, insert the meme of, "Hey, can I copy your homework?"
Just remember to change it a little.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, this guy looks a bit too close. But yeah, I mean, also there was like the whole statement of, and I don't know if this is in an interview or something somewhere, but I remember someone telling me that Nomura eventually wanted to connect Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts in a much bigger way, but without breaking the integrity and separating what makes both of the franchises original from one another. So, and I think he's kind of done that with the incorporation of how he's made Cloud and everyone else work in Kingdom Hearts as opposed to their counterparts in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Do you have any other reasons why you firmly believe that Yozora is Noctis? Like, is there any, like, other big indications?
Well, in the cutscene where Sora is defeated, we see the Fabula Nova Crystallis, which is something that happens in the Final Fantasy 13 saga, which of course Noctis was originally going to be connected to through Versus 13, as it was going to be an ending to Fabula Nova Crystallis saga.
Right.
And you know, a lot of the stuff in the Virum Rex trailer was very much similar to like Magitech armor and stuff. Like the Gigases and everything.
Yeah, that's very true. But also, like, would you be surprised if the portal or like the gateway and trials that he's talking about to get here, would you be surprised if they were kind of similar to the trials that Noctis had to go through?
I wouldn't be really surprised at all because, one of the things that Noctis had to go through at the end of the game is that he had to deal with, losing time. It took 10. Do believe he was put into a deep slumber for like 10 years before waking up to finally face Arden. And the world he came back to was dark and just, you know.
Right. Yeah, because, like, honestly, I have, like, my own suspicions as to Noctis maybe not being completely Yozora, but maybe Yozora is some kind of parallel universe version of Noctis, whereas his
That
name is also Noctis in the universe in which he comes from.
that is also very possible because, Nomura, he had a hard time dealing with the struggle of losing versus 13. He considered Noctis and Sora to both be his children. And that he said, abandoning Final Fantasy versus 13 was like abandoning his own son. So this could even just be him grieving for what he lost, and he's just, making it similar so that way that he can still express what his original vision was.
Yeah, and get that creative freedom out, like that creative activity. Because one of my friends, and like he joked about this, like he's a massive Final Fantasy fan as well. Shoutouts to Phantom. When we saw the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, which gave away way too much, where all the characters got killed off, Phantom straight up said, "Bro, they've him over because of his Final Fantasy 13 Versus project, so now he just wants to kill everything in sight and watch the world burn." I'm like, yo, okay, goddamn. And at this point, I didn't have too much information on Final Fantasy 13 Versus. But yeah, Yozora also being Noctis could just be the appearance that he takes on, because also if we remember, Kingdom Hearts does have form changes depending on where you go. So it could be Noctis in a form change and a name change.
Yeah.
And also, like, another thing too is that, like, people have to remember is that Yozora even is surprised that Sora is calling himself by Sora. And so the girl that he knows is also known as, I think is translated to Sora as well. Like the girl of the night sky or something. Or Northern Star or something. I forget
I do
what her name is.
believe originally in Versus 13 her name was supposed to be Stella.
Right. But yeah, honestly, I'm not 100% sure of what's going to happen with this. But it is kind of funny that, Yozora having these similarities, and I think even if we think about it, like I think it's there for like 1 frame per second. I think it's there, like it just shows up once or twice. But the outside world, outside of the car cutscene in both Final Fantasy 13 Versus and in the Limit Cut, it looks like it's the exact same world where they're driving to.
Yeah, and another thing we notice on the secret movie for Kingdom Hearts 3 is that Riku is in a completely different world and version of what we assume to be Shibuya on Riku's side than Sora is. And we see that Yozora is also there.
Yeah, so do you think that maybe... I don't know, do you think maybe Riku went to where The World Ends With You set? And maybe Yozora's there as well? Like maybe that's where he's from?
Well, Sora's definitely in Shibuya. That much we do know, which is obvious by the 104 building, which is in both Neo and the original World Ends With You. I'm hoping for the World Ends With You cameo, but I don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately.
Right, so why do you reckon Yozora and Riku are in the same place? Do you have like any theories as to what the place is and why Riku would be there and why also Yozora is there? I almost called him Noctis again.
I actually think that Riku went to their planet where Final Fantasy 13 versus 13 takes place. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now.
Right.
But there's a lot of similar building structures and everything, and well, we see Yozora standing on top of a tower in the Riku cutscene.
Yeah, he's
In the
just like
front.
sitting down looking at Riku or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, hey yo, it's a reflection, it's my adopted brother. Anyway, but yeah, is there anything how would you feel, because like I know like this is like a big theory for you, but how would you feel if Nomura just turns around and goes, nah, Yozora's not Noctis?
I mean, it is his property, and he's allowed to do what he wants. So, I mean, I'd be surprised if he decides that he doesn't want to do this, but there's a lot of evidence pointing towards, that he could be Noctis, like direct translations and scenes, and the fact that he even says, that's not my name. How do you know that name?
Yeah, and then he also says this isn't what I look like.
Yeah, which it could be even as simple as a hair color change.
Yeah, but yeah, like I mean it again, like him saying, oh, this isn't actually what I look like, and I had to go through some trials to get here. Like, so he's clearly stated that, one, I'm not from here, two, I had to go through some trials to actually come to this place, and three, this isn't what I actually look like, and that's not my actual name, and I'm surprised that you know that name, and I'm curious as to how you know it.
Here's the biggest kicker of them all. At the end of Final Fantasy 15, Noctis died.
Yeah. Spoilers for anyone who's not actually finished it.
Noctis dies at the end of the game, which, if Nomura is making his little Nomura-verse, he could have been sent over to Quadratum after he died.
Yeah, because like I can't remember how it looked when he died, but didn't Noctis get like a crystallization or something?
No, I believe in the ending it shows Noctis and what's her name? Luna. Noctis and Luna were like asleep on the throne.
Oh.
It kind of similar to like a Kingdom Hearts death where they're not really dead per se.
They just don't exist in the plane where they were before.
Exactly.
Right. That would be very interesting if Sora just goes through Quadratum and Noctis is just hanging around in the background with Luna. That'd be very interesting.
But at the end of the day, it is just a theory. And,
yeah,
it's my personal opinion on things that, this may be a transfer over. And Noctis may be the next Final Fantasy cameo in Kingdom Hearts.
I would love either Noctis or Clive to be the next one.
Yeah, Clive deserves it. I mean, a lot of people didn't like 16, but I thought it was personally good.
Yeah. Just for you, we'll put Sid in there too, the Sid from Final Fantasy 16. But...
Oh yeah, Sid was like the perfect character.
Bro, Sid in that game, man, actually, no, I probably can't discuss this on this video. We're gonna get into some dangerous territory. But let's just say one of my friends was simping for the voice of Sid in 16. To put it lightly. But yeah, honestly, guys, like, that is probably it, unless Chaos, you have like any final things to add into your theory that you want people to know about or take away to think about.
Well, what I want people to take away from, theories is that, take your own twist on it. Do what you need to do. A theory is meant to be discussed about.
Yeah. It's all fun and games. Like, this isn't like don't get me wrong, like the theory in a sense is serious because you're dyslexia of the mouth now, guys. Come on, lad. You're sharing your thoughts and opinion that you think seriously about, because to make a theory you have to think seriously about it, but it can also come from a dumb place. But this theory is like coming from like a serious sit down and think, and like Chaos and I have pointed out, there is a cutscene for cutscene shot that matches up almost 100% perfectly. Yozora stating the fact that, like, this isn't what he actually looks like, that's not his name, he had to go through some trials to get here. And then also in the Kingdom Hearts universe, we have to remember, depending on the world that you go to, there are form changes. So maybe his is a massive drastic form change, because maybe he comes from a different plane entirely to the Kingdom Hearts reality, just like how Quadratum is a reality that is an unreality to Sora and everyone else, because it's not the reality that they are from. So who knows exactly where this so-called man, who's not Yozora, because that's apparently not his name, but it is his name, but it's not, comes from. And also his name, like Noctis, translates to night sky. So we have to think about all these things, but also it's fine to completely disagree as long as we're all being respectful of each other. And yeah, just let us know what you think about your theory down below. Do you agree with me in Chaos? Do you have anything to build off of what Chaos and I have said? Do you have anything extra to add? Did you guys like this theory? If so, slap a juicy like on the video. It really helps me out, and I'm pretty sure Chaos would appreciate it too. Chaos, any final thoughts you want to share with people, or anything you want them to just know?
Yeah, I hope everybody has a good day, and just remember, keep theorizing. It's what keeps the series alive.
Yeah, I really like. If anything, I feel like Kingdom Hearts is a massive franchise that you can just constantly theorize about, and it would be like I know so many people that say like, oh, there are endless possibilities of like any franchise that they like, but like no, like Kingdom Hearts is that weird franchise that you could think about something and there's a probability that it would probably happen. So yeah, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Slap a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new. There is never Kingdom Hearts content lacking on the channel. I do everything from facts, theories, lore, news, and a whole bunch more when it comes to that juicy Kingdom Hearts. Chaos, I want to say thank you, man, for being on the channel. It was a lot of fun doing this with you.
Not a problem, Blake.
And yeah, Chaos and I hope that you guys have a great day. Spread kindness, positivity, and love to yourselves. Guys, don't be too hard on yourselves. Life is difficult enough as it is. Take it day by day. Just do your best. Believe in yourself as much as possible. And be kind to others. You don't know what other people are going through. And with that all being said, may your heart be your guiding key. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.